spawners, such as butterfly and angelfishes. They're very valuable in the aquarium trade. It's likely that sometimes simultaneous spawning in close proximity allows these hybrids to form. And bear in mind that most of the pelagic reef fishes, pelagic spawning reef fishes, spawn at dusk. So you have great opportunity. You have synchrony happening with all of these fishes. Great opportunity for hybrids. Here's an example in the case of the cross that was found in the aquarium industry recently, a tinker-eye butterfly and four-spot butterfly. Here it is. This is a really unusual example because the tinker-eye butterfly lives at about 100 feet or more. The four-spot butterfly is typically in 5 feet to 25 feet of water. Well, what happened to that proximity issue? Of course, the synchronicity issue, the timing is not a problem. They both spawn at dusk. But bear in mind that pelagic spawners, each egg has a droplet of oil in it, so that after it's released in the water, it floats up to the surface. So what had to happen in this cross is that the tinker-eye pair spawned, and an egg did not get fertilized, but continued to float upward, and happened to be in the right place at the right time when the four-spot butterflies were spawning, and it got fertilized there. That's an amazing thing to happen, but it did. Beautiful fish, great result. Here is another tinker-eye cross, again, deep water fish and shallow fish, Miliaris with tinker-eye. This one was in a book, Angelfish and Butterfly Fish book that was published many years ago. Here's Pomacanthus imperator and the blueface Anthometapon, probably an accidental cross. Likewise, the bicolor and pearl scale angel, potter-eye and fisher-eye. That one might have been mate selection, hard to know. Loricula and potter-eye. Shepherd-eye and bispinosa. There are a lot of bispinosa, that's the coral beauty, a lot of bispinosa hybrids, probably because bispinosa is so very common and widespread. Here is the rusty angel and coral beauty cross. This is coral beauty crossed with multicolor, which are very distantly related. And here's a recent discovery, multicolor and rusty. Venusta and multifasciata makes an unusual looking fish. Outside of the angelfish, look at this Anthias. That's Anthias swamipinus and Pseudanthias tuca, the purple queen. Two very different fish that there's no way that they're spawning together. They just happen to live in exactly the same place, and they spawn at the same time, so here is a very rare hybrid. Now, this is a digitally imagined hybrid. Now, you might say that's a fantasy. Well, I guarantee you this fish does exist. It just hasn't been found yet. This is what the Annularis and Imperator hybrid adult would look like. At least I think so. And if you think that's far-fetched, look at this one. Here's a real one. This is Imperator and Chrysaurus. This was photographed in a shop in Hong Kong. From Kenya, it was collected. Now, that's got to be a fantasy. Yes, this is digitally imagined. That is the French angelfish from the Caribbean with the Annularis angelfish from the Pacific Ocean. Now, some of you might think that this is a bad idea. And I'm not going to put a value judgment on it, but I think that for the aquarium industry, the development of new varieties can be an exciting thing, and it can develop interest, more people who are willing to set up more aquariums. So I do tend to fall on the side of supporting experiments like this. It goes back, it has a bit of history. Here was a hybrid created by Martin Moe back in the late 1970s. This is a cross between the French and gray angelfish. Of course, they're both from the Atlantic. Frank Bench did hybridize the resplendent angel with the Fisher angel. Now, this is mate selection. It's not accidental. And he did that to see what the offspring would look like. And interestingly, they were halfway between. They look like the Acanthops angel that occurs in Africa. So, what would happen if you crossed a potter's angel and Orantinotis? This is digitally created. but I believe that's about what it would look like, and I think that would be an exciting fish. Another cross Martin Moe did with Forrest Young's help had an interesting name, the hijack. This was a cross between the hi-hat and the jackknife fish. And I saw this fish when I was quite young visiting Martin Moe. This one was in the aquarium trade in Hong Kong. That's a cross between the Koran angel and maculosa angel. A fairly common cross. Now the population of queen angelfishes is in many places diluted with blue angelfish, so that the more common fish you find are hybrids. Now they run a spectrum from looking almost pure queen to almost pure blue, or halfway in between like this one. Last slide, here was an accidental cross that was really fascinating, the Rock Beauty and Queen Angelfish cross. Definitely an accident. There's no way that they're going by mate selection. So knowing what we know, remember that, how I began with knowing. Knowing what we know about accidental fertilization, what use is this knowledge for the benefit of aquaculture, ornamental marine culture, or coral reef restoration? And what ethical issues are there? Just some things to think about. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.